The aluminum bat came down with brutal force. Metal met bone, and a 16-year-old girl's life changed forever in a high school corridor where privilege had always ruled supreme. Her crime? Refusing to stay silent about what she knew? What happened next would expose a web of corruption stretching from school administrators to hospital boardrooms, and one former Special Forces operative would wage war on a system that believed money could bury any truth. This is the story of how one mother's relentless pursuit of justice dismantled an empire built on entitlement and fear. The weight descended with sickening precision. Aluminum connected with skull, the sound reverberating through the corridor as Emily Harper's body collapsed against orange lockers before sliding to polished linoleum. Blood began pooling immediately. Phones captured everything from multiple angles, students shouting encouragement to the attacker, their voices echoing off institutional walls. The boy holding the bat stood over his victim, chest heaving, face flushed with power. Behind him, a girl held her phone high, streaming live to hundreds of viewers. "That's what happens," someone said clearly, their voice carrying through the chaos. Across town, in a different world entirely, retired Master Sergeant Catherine Hayes stood before military recruits on a training ground, her voice cutting through morning air with practiced authority. Combat isn't won by the strongest warrior. It's won by the one who refuses to quit when everything falls apart. She paced, boots crunching gravel, unaware that soon those words would define her own battle on unfamiliar terrain. The alarm sounded at 500 hours, unnecessary but habitual. Catherine had risen before dawn for 3 decades, 15 of those in active service. At 47, she maintained the discipline of her Special Forces years, her morning routine unchanged. Exercises, 3-minute shower, black coffee. Her modest home outside Riverside reflected military precision, everything in its designated place. Down the hallway, her daughter Emily should have been preparing for school. Catherine knocked twice. "Time to move," silence answered. Opening the door revealed Emily already dressed, textbooks open, but her posture signaled distress. At 16, Emily possessed her mother's analytical mind, but struggled with confidence in her new environment. "I don't want to go today." Catherine entered, reading body language with tactical assessment. 2 weeks at Meadowbrook Academy, and something wasn't right. "What's happening?" Emily closed her book. "Nothing specific, just the wealthy students control everything here." "New terrain always feels hostile initially," Catherine replied, sitting across from her daughter. "What have I taught you about unfamiliar environments? Observe before engaging. Map the landscape. Identify threats and allies." "Exactly. You're intelligent, Emily, more capable than you realize. This is simply another mission." A ghost of a smile touched Emily's face. "You make everything sound like military operations." "Because they are. Some just require different tactics." Catherine checked her watch. "We depart in 10. I'll drive you." In the car, Catherine studied her daughter's reflection, seeing echoes of her late husband. Colonel David Harper had fallen in combat 8 years ago, leaving Catherine to raise Emily alone. Sometimes she still reached for him in darkness, finding only empty space and memories. Balancing warrior and nurturer remained her greatest challenge. They arrived at Meadowbrook Academy, an imposing structure with modern security additions. Catherine's trained eye automatically noted cameras, access points, defensive vulnerabilities. "Pick up at 1600. Emily hesitated. "Mom, you know that scholarship covering half my tuition?" "It's from the Ashford Foundation. The founder's son, Derek Ashford, is in my grade." Catherine's expression hardened slightly. "Is he causing problems?" "Not directly. He's just untouchable. His family practically owns the school." "Nobody's untouchable, Emily. Remember that." Catherine watched her daughter enter the building, head slightly bowed, trying for invisibility among affluent teenagers. Something protective and primal stirred in her chest. She had no way of knowing that in exactly 7 hours her world would detonate. The security consultation occupied Catherine's morning, her attention focused on a client's corporate vulnerabilities. Her post-military career as a security consultant utilized her special forces training while providing stability for Emily. The call came at 13:23. "Miss Hayes, this is Meadowbrook Academy. Your daughter has been injured. An ambulance has transported her to Memorial Hospital." Everything narrowed to a single point. Catherine's training maintained vocal control while her mind calculated routes and response time. "What happened?" "She appears to have fallen downstairs. Paramedics recommended hospital evaluation." "I'm en route." Catherine was already moving, her military precision taking over. 15 minutes later, she burst through Memorial's emergency entrance, her senses processing information with combat-honed efficiency. The nurse directed her to the ICU 4th floor. Catherine's heart stuttered, then resumed with painful intensity. ICU meant critical. The elevator crawled upward. Catherine's mind flashed to other hospitals, other emergencies, the field hospital where David took shrapnel, the memorial service when he didn't come home. Panic threatened, but she suppressed it with practiced discipline. Emily needed clear thinking now. Dr. Michael Preston met her outside the ICU, his expression carefully neutral. "Miss Hayes, let's speak privately." In the consultation room, he delivered news that shattered her world. Emily has suffered severe head trauma. She's unconscious. CT scans show cerebral swelling. The next 24 hours are critical. Catherine forced herself to focus on facts, compartmentalizing emotion. Prognosis? If swelling stabilizes, that's positive. But I must be honest, she's in serious condition. The school reported a fall. Dr. Preston hesitated fractionally, but Catherine caught it. That's the official report. "I want to see my daughter." The ICU room was dim, machinery casting blue shadows. Emily lay motionless, tubes and wires connecting her to monitors. Her face was badly bruised, a massive purple swelling on her temple. Catherine approached slowly, each step heavier than the last. "I'm here, baby. I'm here." Catherine studied the injuries with analytical precision. The bruise pattern was concentrated, not distributed as from tumbling downstairs. The shoulder showed impact at an unusual angle. When Dr. Preston returned, Catherine's voice was steady but cold. "May I see the medical chart?" "That's not standard." "I understand procedures, doctor. I also understand injuries. These don't match a fall." Dr. Preston glanced at the door, then lowered his voice. "The report says fall. That's what I'm required to document." "Who determined that?" "It came from the school, then was confirmed by hospital administration. I want the original intake notes." Dr. Preston hesitated, then nodded. Minutes later, he handed Catherine a printed form. 3 words jumped out. "Blunt force trauma. Not fall. Not accident." The next line was damning. Patient stated, "He hit me before losing consciousness." Catherine looked up at Dr. Preston. "Who modified this report?" "I received instructions from hospital administration. They said Ashford Foundation legal counsel requested corrections for accuracy." Catherine folded the paper carefully. "Thank you for showing me this, doctor." "I didn't show you anything," Dr. Preston said quietly. "And Ms. Hayes, I record all consultations digitally, including administrative phone calls. That recording exists." Outside the hospital, evening air cooled Catherine's rage into something colder, more focused. Someone had hurt her daughter. Someone had orchestrated a cover-up. They had no concept of who they were dealing with. The war had begun. Catherine spent the night researching, planning, building strategy. By dawn, she had identified key players, Principal Margaret Thornton, Vice Principal Walter Crawford, School Resource Officer Jackson Cole, a former military colleague from Fort Campbell. The Ashford Foundation's influence extended through every institution, school board, hospital administration, local government, even law enforcement. At Meadowbrook Academy the next morning, Catherine moved through hallways with combat readiness. The security guard recognized something in her bearing that commanded respect. Principal Thornton's office was expensively appointed, her smile practiced and hollow. "Miss Hayes, I'm so sorry about Emily's accident. How is she?" Catherine remained standing. "Drop the performance, Principal Thornton." "We both know it wasn't an accident." The smile faltered. "I understand you're upset, but the incident report clearly—" "My daughter is comatose, with head trauma and a dislocated shoulder. Paramedics documented her saying, 'He hit me,' so I'll ask once, what really happened?" Thornton's expression hardened. "Accidents in schools are unfortunately common. Students often misremember during trauma. I want security footage." "I'm afraid that's not possible. The hallway cameras were undergoing maintenance yesterday." "All of them?" Simultaneously. "If you'll excuse me, I have a meeting." Catherine didn't move. "I'll find the truth, Principal Thornton, with or without your cooperation." Leaving administration, Catherine encountered Jackson Cole near the gymnasium. Recognition lit his face. "Captain Hayes, I heard you retired." "Jackson, I need to speak with you, privately." In his office, Cole's smile faded as Catherine explained. His eyes widened. "Harper, Emily Harper is your daughter. I didn't make the connection. The official story is a fall." "What's the real story?" Cole glanced at the door. "I can't talk here." Johnny's Diner, 1800 hours. That evening at the diner, Cole confirmed Catherine's suspicions. The cameras weren't down. Footage was deleted around 2200 hours last night. But there's a secondary backup system, 48-hour cloud storage. Administration doesn't know about it. "Can you access it?" "Not directly, but the technology instructor, Miss Rivera, designed the system. She has admin credentials." Cole hesitated. "Catherine, the Ashford Foundation controls this town. They have the mayor, the police chief, hospital board. Their son Derek runs with a group of kids who've been involved in incidents before. Nothing ever sticks. You think they hurt Emily?" "I can't prove it without evidence. But there have been rumors about Derek Ashford and his friends, incidents with other students that mysteriously disappear. I need that backup footage." Cole handed her a note. "Ms. Rivera's classroom number. The media club meets tomorrow morning. Those students film everything. They might have seen something." The next morning, Catherine found the media lab buzzing with activity. Technology instructor Ms. Rivera, a sharp-eyed woman in her 30s, looked up as Catherine entered with 3 students. "Miss Hayes, these are my students. Amanda Chen, James Rodriguez, Isabella Martinez." The students exchanged glances. Amanda spoke first. "How's Emily?" "We heard she's hospitalized. Critical condition. The school claims she fell." Another meaningful look between the students. James straightened. "That's not what happened." Ms. Rivera closed the door. "I think we should discuss this privately." Isabella pulled out her phone. "We have video." Not everything, but enough. The footage showed Emily backed against lockers, surrounded by 4 students. A tall boy in a varsity jacket held an aluminum bat. 2 others flanked him, a girl holding her phone high, apparently streaming. Derek Ashford twirled the bat, saying something inaudible. Emily tried to move past. He blocked her. The bat raised. The video cut off. What happened next? Catherine's voice was deadly calm. James swallowed hard. "We heard screaming. By the time we got there, Emily was on the ground. Derek and his group were gone." Ms. Wells, the math teacher, was there but just stood frozen, didn't do anything. "There's blood on locker B22, Isabella added. "They tried cleaning it, but you can still see stains." "Why didn't you report this?" Ms. Rivera sighed. "We tried." Principal Thornton said the video was inconclusive. Officer Crawford confiscated Isabella's original phone, but she'd already backed up the footage. "The Ashford Foundation takes down all uploads," Amanda explained. "Anytime someone posts it, it's removed within hours. I traced the complaints. They come from the County Education Office IP address." Catherine was impressed. "You traced the IP?" Amanda shrugged. "I'm good with computers." "I need everything you can find," Catherine said. "The original video, IP documentation, information about other incidents involving Derek Ashford, and I need access to that security backup." Ms. Rivera nodded slowly. "I can access it. But Ms. Hayes, what are you planning?" "I'm going to ensure this never happens again," Amanda spoke up. "Ms. Hayes, there's something else. The baseball team had a game yesterday afternoon. Derek played. But afterward, we overheard Coach Bennett telling the equipment manager to take care of a problem. He was carrying an aluminum bat wrapped in plastic." "Where would they hide something?" James answered immediately. "Behind the equipment shed. Seniors bury items there as tradition." That night, Catherine and Jackson Cole excavated behind the equipment shed, finding an aluminum bat wrapped in plastic. The Ashford Foundation logo was clearly visible. Dark stains near the barrel matched orange paint from the lockers. "That's blood," Jackson confirmed. "And locker paint. I'll log this as evidence found during routine patrol." Meanwhile, Ms. Rivera accessed the backup security system, downloading unedited footage showing the attack in full detail. Derek Ashford swinging the bat with clear intent, Emily collapsing, the crowd scattering, math teacher Susan Wells standing frozen before finally running for help. Catherine contacted her former colleague, attorney Michelle Ortega, who agreed to take the case. Together, they presented evidence to County Prosecutor James Morrison. The security footage was unambiguous. Morrison, understanding the political implications, moved quickly to file charges against Derek Ashford for assault with a deadly weapon. But the Ashford family counterattacked immediately. The aluminum bat disappeared from evidence. Hospital administrator contacted Ms. Hayes about transferring Emily's care. A fraudulent court order appeared, claiming Catherine was emotionally unstable and granting temporary guardianship to Ashford Medical Trust. Michelle filed emergency injunctions, blocking the transfer. The legal battle escalated rapidly. Derek was arrested, released on bail, then offered a plea deal when FBI investigators discovered the Ashford Foundation had installed backdoor systems in multiple school computer networks. Emily finally regained consciousness after 5 days. Her first words confirmed everything. Derek Ashford had attacked her because she'd discovered and reported a massive cheating operation. Derek and privileged students were stealing test answers through backdoor access in computers donated by Ashford Industries, selling them for profit. When Emily reported this to Ms. Wells, Derek threatened her. When she refused to recant, he attacked her in the hallway. Her testimony, combined with the recovered evidence, demolished the Ashford family's defense. Derek pleaded guilty and testified against his father. Federal investigators uncovered systematic computer fraud across multiple states. Richard Ashford, family patriarch and foundation chairman, was convicted on multiple felony counts: conspiracy, obstruction of justice, witness intimidation, evidence tampering, and computer fraud. He received 12 years in federal prison. The case sparked national conversations about privilege, educational integrity, and accountability. Meadowbrook Academy implemented comprehensive reforms, establishing the Emily Harper Initiative for Student Safety. Governor Sarah Mitchell appointed Catherine as the state's first Director of Educational Integrity, overseeing implementation of accountability measures across all public schools. 6 months after the attack, Emily stood before Meadowbrook's student body, her scars visible but her voice strong. 3 months ago, Derek Ashford thought he could silence me with violence. He believed his family's wealth placed him above consequences. He was wrong. This initiative isn't about me being special. It's about ensuring everyone deserves equal safety and justice, regardless of family status or money. Catherine watched from the back of the auditorium, pride overwhelming her. Her daughter had not only survived, but had become a symbol of courage that inspired systemic change. That evening, sitting on their front porch, Emily asked, "Do you think it's really changed permanently?" Catherine considered carefully. Systems can always be corrupted again. That's why what matters most is teaching people to stand up when they see injustice. You didn't just help create new rules, Emily. You showed everyone what courage looks like. So we keep watching, keep standing up. Exactly. Justice isn't a destination. It's a constant vigilance. Udi. As darkness fell, mother and daughter remained on the porch, warriors resting after hard-won victory, knowing their fight had transformed not just one school, but demonstrated that even the most entrenched power structures could be challenged when truth was pursued relentlessly and justice demanded fearlessly. What began with one act of violence in a school hallway had become a movement proving that no one, regardless of wealth or influence, stood above accountability.